Okay guys, so this is part 2 of how to run a web design business and make easy money. So today I'm going to show you another 2 different ways that you can charge your clients every month and generate passive income without any additional work from your end. All you need to do basically is to set this up and then you'll earn money each and every month. Alright, so let me show you how we can do that. Okay, very good. So welcome back to our hub. So as you can see, we have the 2 websites that we connected up in our previous video. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it first and then come back to this one. It's probably better, to follow step by step. Otherwise, if you've watched it already, you remember we imported those 2 websites here. We connected them up. So very good. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can also make money using those features here. So you can select any of your websites, so they'll all be listed up here, obviously, So you can select any of your websites. Now you'll have to repeat this operation for all of them. You have to set that up at least once for all of them. And then after that, you'll be able to generate money from it. So let's click on this one, for instance. And right here on top, we have all the different tabs, all the menu section. And there's a few options we haven't gone through yet. So we have security, performance, SEO, uptime, and analytics. So these are the ones that we're going to consider. So in this video, I'm going to we're going to consider security and performance. In the next video, we'll have uptime, analytics, and I'm going to show you how to run reports as well. And you can charge your customers for all these services that you're going to provide. Okay, so let's have a look at security and performances. So let's start with security. Okay, very good. So from here, basically, you can scan, secure, and safeguard your website with the most powerful security tools for WordPress. So let me show you what that means. So basically, they're using Defender Pro, okay? So Defender Pro will help you to protect your website against hackers, brute force, malicious bots, etc., etc. So all of these threats here will be taken care of. So your website will be safe and secure, which is very, very important, obviously, So if you scroll down the page, there is a feature here that's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to show you now. So FAQs here. Help, I was already hacked. What should I do? So listen to this now. WPMU Dev's expert support can restore and clean up your website after it's been hacked for free. So they'll take care of that for you as well. Because it's a disastrous situation. If you've been hacked, you wake up in the morning, oh my goodness, my website's been hacked. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Where do I even start? Sometimes it's very frightening, So here's very simple. They're going to help you do this. And as you can see here, for free, they're going to help you. So once you are registered with them, this is a service they will provide. So again, absolutely outstanding service and hassle-free as well. You don't have to worry about it. They'll take care of everything for you. So from here, we can install it on our website by clicking this button. And right on top, you can see you can use config setup. So this is basically if you have pre-saved configurations, you can load them up here. It's going to save you time. So again, if you were to do that with one website, you go to the next and so on, you can load the same settings and save a lot of time again. So everything has been well thought out and well prepared for you to optimize your time and revenue. Okay, so now what we're going to do now, simply we're going to click install. So let's click on this. All right, so as you can see here, we have a message. It says Defender Pro is activated successfully. So very good. So now it is up and running. And from here, we have a quick overview of the security situation on our website. So as you can see at the moment, you have no issues found, which is normally because we haven't run any scan yet. So if you were to run a scan, it would scan the whole website, all the files, the root folder, etc., etc. And if there's an issue is found, you'll have here, instead of green, it'll become red, obviously, and tells you how many issues were found. And then you can act upon it, obviously, So what I'm going to do now, just for the sake of it, I'm going to upload a thread on the website. We're going to run a scan together and show you what it looks like. So there you go, guys. It's taken maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes or something, because it's a fresh new installation anyways. So as you can see, we have total issues, 6 of them. So we can have a quick look. What are those issues? So if we click on this now, it's going to display all these different issues. And there you go. So as you can see, we have a few different files here that shouldn't be there. And this is the one I personally uploaded, mrwebreviews.htm. And as you can see, it says this is not part of the WordPress core. So it shouldn't be there normally, So you can do something about it. So if you click on this, As you can see, this is the content. So I did that on purpose. This is a string of line that you can use to test websites. So this is basically like a virus, you would say, you know. So this has been spotted, detected. So basically all these 5 errors here, 5 issues are all related to the same problem, which is unknown file in WordPress core. So what we can do basically is to select them all just like this, or you can bulk select and then unselect this one. And then what we want to do is to basically delete this, apply. Okay, let's confirm. Very good. So this is sorted already. Now, as you can see, we have another one here, and this is related to a plugin, WP Reset. So I use WP Reset to reset the website up after each tutorial to go back to the basic default WordPress installation. So you can see here there's a vulnerability found in the version 1.93. So if we open this now, so this is basically our explanation here. As you can see, database reset via CSRF. So that's cross-site request forgery, which can be very harmful to your website, obviously, you know. So let me hide myself for a second here. As you can see, we have a button here that says update because this is a plugin. So what we can do is to update immediately from here. So if we click on this, as you can see, it says there is no update available for this plugin. So what should we do now? Very simply. So what we need to do now is to take action. We need to go to the plugin section. And as you can see, this is our plugin here. So now what can we do? We can update it. Yeah, but there are no updates available, as you can see. So we have to take drastic actions in this instance. You know, if an update is available, you will update it immediately from here. As you will see the button here that says update, you know, click on it, update the plugin itself. But in our instance, we can't do that. So what we're going to do basically is to simply deactivate it and delete it altogether, because we want our website to be safe and secure. And if you can afford to get rid of the plugin altogether, like this is the case here, just please do so. Okay, very good. So now let's go back to our hub. So as you can see, now we have 0 issues left. So it's gone green again. Okay, so this is just absolutely perfect. We have everything under control. Now let's scroll down the page a little bit more. And as you can see, we have a few different options, a few different features we can activate as well to tighten, to strengthen the security. So we can add firewall, audit logging, and 2-factor authentication as well, which is very, very helpful. And then with the block list monitor as well, advanced tools, and WAF security. Okay, so these are a few options. You don't have to activate them, it's optional, but I would highly recommend that you activate the firewall and probably the 2-factor authentication, at least those two, you know, because these are absolutely crucially important nowadays. 2-factor authentication, absolutely fantastic, and firewall as well. So let's go ahead with this. I'm just going to activate this now. So basically what this does is to prevent hackers from randomly guessing your password and so on. So when there's a repetitive action like this, it will put a stop and block the IP and lock them out of the website altogether and making it safe, you know. So all we have to do basically is just to click activate. So we click on this, and as you can see, it is now activated. So we have a few different options here that we can configure and change and customize based on our own requirements, basically, you know, or you can just leave it the way it is. This is absolutely fine as is, you know. So as you can see, we have a threshold and a duration. So basically the threshold is how many failed login attempts within a specific period of time. So here 5 failed logins within 300 seconds. So this would be over 5 minutes, you know. So if they tried at least once per minute and failed, then they'll be locked out. Now you can tighten that. You might say maybe 3, you know, depending on your own preferences. Now, if you're running an e-commerce website, for instance, and your customers might forget their password, you might lock them out as well. So this is why 5 over 300 seconds, it's safe enough, you know, even for your own personal users and customers. And then we have the duration. So for how long do you want to lock them out of your website? So here we have 300 seconds again. So this would be 5 minutes. And they won't be able to access your website for another 5 minutes at least, which will greatly decrease the chances of them trying again and attempting to break into your website, okay? Or you can do it permanently. That's it. They're locked out all together. They're banned fully, you know, all together. So this is really up to you. It's a matter of choice. Again, like I said, if you're running an e-commerce website, maybe it's better to leave it at 300 seconds here rather than permanent. If it's just a regular website, John permanent is absolutely fine. You know, that means that it's truly hackers trying to get into your website. And then you have messages as well. So maybe you can change this and tweak this around. And again, once you're happy enough, don't forget to click save here and you should be all sorted out after that. Okay, very good. So now let's go back to our hub. So we've installed the firewall. So let's enable the two-factor authentication as well. So let's activate this. Very good. Okay, so as you can see with this, it's going to beef up your website security with two-factor authentication. So it's going to add an extra layer of security. So we can enable this. Okay, very good. So our first option here is to select which user will be required to use this two-factor authentication. So we have all the different types here: admin, editor, author, contributor, subscribers, which are the usual one. Okay, and then with customers. Very good. So this is very handy if you have an e-commerce website. If you're running an e-commerce, this might come in very handy for you as well, and including shop manager. So very good. So clearly the two-factor authentication works with an app installed on your phone, which you need to enable and give the code and type the code in order to log in. So what would happen if you were to lose your phone? You can't log into the website, which would be very difficult then, you know. You can enable this feature here, enable lost phone option. So if someone can't access their phone, maybe it's not at hand, maybe they left it home or something like this, you know, you can send them a one-time password to their registered email address. So this is another possible option, which would make life easier as well. So you can force the authentication as well. I would not advise you to do so, but it's really up to you, you know. If this is the case, it will force users to activate two-factor, but not everyone is comfortable with that feature, you know, so maybe not. So we have the app title here. So basically this is the name of your website, I suppose. And then you can select the type of app that you want to use. So you have Google Authenticator, which is the most common one. I would highly recommend you use this one. Then you have Microsoft Authenticator and Authy. Never heard of the third one here, but this one is the most common one. So you might just select this. Once you're happy enough again, just click Save Changes. Just here, as you can see, Save Changes. And that's it. That's us done already for this, you know. So very good. So let's go back to our hub now. And we have the audit logging. So audit logging basically is to track and log events when changes are made to your website. So again, this might be a helpful feature depending on how busy your website is and how many users are actually on your website. You know, if it's just a blog, for instance, or a static website with just yourself editing it, you might be interested in knowing when something is being changed on your website, because obviously that's without your own authorization, you know. So something clearly is going on then. But if you have lots of users, it might be a bit tricky, you know, to keep control over this. So again, depending on how busy your website is, you might want to enable this. And then you have the block list monitor. So it's just to see if you are on Google's block list. So you can check this as well. And then we have the advanced tool. So this, I would highly recommend you activate it as well. Now, again, it's up to you, but it's, as you can see, against even the most aggressive hackers and bots. So let's activate this together. Very good. And these are all the different options, you know, so X-frame, cross-site scripts, and so on and so on. So these are the type of attacks and scripts that are being sent out, you know, by hackers through the internet, and they might affect your website. So I would highly recommend that you enable all of these one by one, you know. And once done, just click save, and that's just done already. Very good. So back to our hub now. Let's go back to the top. So that's basically it when it comes to security. I think we've covered all the main points. Now let's take care of the performances. So as you can see, it's not enabled yet. And the main purpose of this is to make your site fly with the ultimate performance package. So let's do this now. Let's activate that. Very good. And immediately we have our score here. So very, very good indeed. We had 97 score. So this is the Google page speed score. And basically everything over 90 would be considered good. So as you can see here, we're at 97 on desktop, I mean, you know. And on mobile, what are we at? If we look, 73. So that's not too bad. Everything over 70 on mobile and over 90 on desktops would be considered excellent. So this is very good, actually, you know, already from the get-go. So basically from here, you have control over a few of the main important things, you know. So what can slow your website down? So clearly, number one is the size of the images. If you have too big files, too heavy images, it's going to slow down and obviously impact the loading speed, you know. And then you have the distance as well between your visitor and the actual server where it's located. So basically, let's say if someone was based in the UK or let's say in Europe, and the server is based in America or maybe in Australia or China, obviously it would take a lot more time to ping the server and get information back to you. So this can also affect the loading speed. And then we have everything that's got to do with your website itself. So all that's got to do with script. So CSS script, HTML loading time, and things like this, or maybe JavaScript and so on. Okay. So as you can see here by the side, we have all these different options here. So you have the image optimization. So they can be smushed, basically, as they say, So, and you can have lazy load as well. So that means that your image will only load when you reach that point in time when you scroll down the page. Instead of loading all the pictures on the page, if you have a long page, for instance, instead of loading all the images, it will only load the image when you reach that point, roughly when you scroll down the page. And then we have the CDN here. So basically, this is the content delivery network. So with this, it will basically host your website on different servers worldwide. And depending where your visitors is located, it will ping the nearest one. So let's say if there's one in Germany, and I'm based in Ireland myself, I'll probably ping that one. And this is how I'll have the fastest feedback, the fastest ping in between your website and myself as the user. And then you have the compression as well here, as you can see, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. So this is all that's related to coding. So this is basically the complete overview of your website and the performances and how you can optimize everything all at once. Okay, very good. Now for the exciting part, how can you monetize this? You can make money from it, obviously, by providing security and optimized performances to your customers. Every month you can charge them a small fee. So what you can do basically to add more to it, to make your customers even more confident to purchase this service, you can provide that maybe for free, maybe for a month, let's say, okay? And for this, you can provide them a monthly report or weekly report, a report basically, So it will seem like you're doing a lot of work behind the scenes when everything is done automatically, okay? So for this, we go into the report section. So I'll click on this now. And as you can see, you can schedule gorgeous and fully customizable white label website health report. So either for you or your customers, okay? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to create a report now. Okay, so let's give it a name. So let's keep it simple, security and performances. Very good. Let's click continue. And then here, very handy enough, you can select the language as well. So if you're working with an international customer base, you might want to send this maybe in Spanish or maybe in French or maybe German and so on and so on. Okay, so feel free to tweak this around. You can change the date format and the time as well. So the one we're interested in here, it's the summary for client. So you can select detail as well for developers. So that would be for yourself. But again, we want to send that to our customer. Very good. And this is the content of the email. So basically here, this is just the subject, the summary, the title, the file name and domain. And basically here, this is the introduction, what they can read. And then to this will be attached the report. So basically here you can add the sender's name, you can have the domain name, etc., etc. Okay, very good. So let's continue now. And what type of report do you want to provide? So we have update, security, performances, backup, and client billing. So we just created a security set of rules, the same with performances. So you can update them about this. So let's untick those ones, this one here. And let's just send security and performances because this is what we said that we would charge them for, okay? So let's continue with this. And now you can change either your cover page. So based on your company logo and let's say your colors and so on, your branding, you can change this as well. So it's very easily done. So let me show you. I'm just going to add a quick logo here. Okay, so for this, all we have to do is click on this, add logo. I'm going to select this one here. So this is from my own personal business company, everything custom built, limited, save. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to have a look. Everythingcustombuilt.com. Very good. And then we can select the color as well. So let's go into maybe those purplish. There you go. Save. So easy, isn't it? Click continue. Very good. and you can decide when you're going to send it. So you have the schedule here, so you can add. So if you enable this, you can select, so let's say weekly, fortnightly, monthly, or quarterly. So let's say you're going to send this every Monday. Okay, so we select weekly, Monday, and then select the time, maybe 10 in the morning. Okay, and then click save. Very good. And to whom are you going to send it to? So you need to select a recipient. So this is basically the name, and you can add another one. You can send it to yourself and then send it to your customers as well. So I'm just going to add another email address here. There you go. That's my Gmail account. And then click Save Changes. Very good. And now we can generate it. So let's go ahead with this. So generate. And then I'm going to show you the email I received. Very good. So this is gone now. Report successfully created. So there we have it. So this is the email I received. So this is the report sent by email. Hi there, please find attached to this email a full website activity report. And if you click on this, you have a PDF file attached to it. And as you can see, we have our logo here and the colors that we selected. So if you scroll down, this is our report, activity report, the date and the time it was run at. And we have the malware scanning, block list monitor, IP lookout, and so on. And then we have the performance as well. So this is very good because your customer will see that they score a 98 out of 100. They'll be super happy with this. And again, this is something you can charge them for and make some money every month.